Good afternoon, guys, and welcome back to Bald Father Bets. We didn't come at you with a video Monday, got stuck at the office late, so we'll do a quick recap of Sunday and Monday, just kind of overall recap of the wild card round, and then we go into NFL divisional round here. 2 games today, Saturday, 2 games tomorrow, Sunday, and then National Championship Monday. Should be no issues with coming at you with a video each day for each set of games. Well, Monday's not a set of games, just one, but each day for the games. So before we get into that, please make sure you are subscribed to the channel, notifications on, getting our community posts anytime we upload a video. Sometimes we do it closer to game time, depending on how much we're reading line movement up until kickoff. And then anything you can do to support the channel, like, share, subscribe, comment on this video, share it around to your friends, grab your mom's phone, subscribe her to the channel. What she doesn't know won't hurt her. Anything we can do to get our subscription base up, really appreciate it. So recap NFL wildcard weekend. We were 20-15 in units on the 6 games, so ultimately plus 5 units on the wild card round. 15-0 on Saturday, 0-15 on Sunday, and then 5-0 on Monday. We talk more about our losses than we do our wins here, so we'll really focus on Sunday. Wrong side on the Bills and Broncos clear. Broncos, looked like they had a shot after that opening drive, but never really had a chance in that one. Very clear there. The other two, man, those are tough. Packers should have covered against the Eagles. They lose the game 22-10. They have a opening kickoff that gets fumbled where the Eagles score a touchdown on, and really the Eagles didn't do much on offense, so you gifted them 7 points there. And then on the final drive, Jordan Love throws an interception in the end zone, but their wide receiver was legitimately tackled before the other Eagles player made the interception. So it should have been 1st and goal at the 1. I don't right side all that often, but that one was the right side. It absolutely should have covered. And then a coin flip game in Commanders Bucks, just on the wrong side of it. Bucks had an opportunity there, up 4 with the ball, had gotten a first down on a 3rd down throw to Mike Evans, where he made an amazing play to reach behind him to get the first down. And then on the very next play, Baker fumbles it on what was, I think, supposed to be a fake handoff on an end around, but player hit him, knocked the ball out of his hands, and then fumbled, picked up by Bobby Wagner. Commanders able to score there. Bucks then go back down with the ball, and on 3rd and inches, they have a miscommunication where center snaps the ball, but none of the other offensive linemen realize the play started. So then they have to settle for 3, which is a tie game. And then Commanders go down and score, and they get a doink in. It's kind of destiny at that point. Neither defense was slowing down in either offense at that point. So kind of whoever had the ball last in that one was going to win. So Bucks really needed to get that first down on 3rd and inches so they could extend that drive, and then either ultimately kick a field goal as time expired to tie it or score a touchdown and give them a 4-point victory. But it didn't happen, so coin flip on that one. And then we came back, obviously, with the Rams Monday night, and that one was the other one that wasn't really in doubt for us. So we are now in divisional round. We're going to focus on these 2 games here today. First off, I'm going to get on the narrative overall for the games. It's really interesting. In a season in which favorites covered in the NFL at an unprecedented rate, everyone's really getting trendy here on the dogs, and it has a lot to do with divisional round trends in terms of number 1 seeds who are strong favorites. And a lot of it also has to do with the fact that the Chiefs just don't cover numbers when they're favored by so much. The situation, I think, is potentially a little bit different, but let's look at each game individually. So Texans and Chiefs, this game was just played a few weeks ago, and it was a 3.5-point spread in the exact same situation. And now it's either 8.5 or 9, or even up to 9.5, depending on what book you use. So, people are saying is what happened in the past few weeks that this is now 5, 5.5, or 6 points higher. And I understand the question. On paper, this looks like a really good matchup for the Texans, and the fact that they're one of the best pass rush teams, and the spot in which the Chiefs are a little bit weak is the tackles. Now, they do get Jawan Taylor back, and they do have DJ Humphries back. However, my understanding is they're still going to play Tooney at left tackle. He's an all-pro left guard that they've moved over to left tackle, and it's kind of been working for them, which makes me think they're going to continue to hit the quick passing game, and they're going to continue to try and attack the slot receiver, which is where the Texans have had some weaknesses. Even in that game against the Chargers, Ladd McConkey did well from the slot receiver position. People, I think, a little bit have forgotten about some of these Texans' struggles offensively, because they did have such a good game against the Chargers, but offensively, they had the 99-yard touchdown drive, but they scored a lot of their points because defense had pick sixes and set them up with short fields. And even on that 99-yard touchdown drive, it was very, very close to being either intentional grounding in the end zone, sack in the end zone for a safety. Obviously, it wasn't. We're happy it wasn't. We're on the Texans. That would have completely changed that game. But really, since Tank Dell has gone out, and then obviously they left Stephon Diggs, this has been a very different offense for the Texans that has had some difficulty scoring. Against the Chargers, I wasn't as concerned about it at home, because I thought the Texans defense would also slow down the Chargers offense, and they did. I'm a little bit more concerned about it against the Chiefs. Chiefs have still quietly one of the best defenses in the NFL, and there is no team that flips a switch in games where it matters quite like the Chiefs do. Offensively, the Chiefs quietly over the past 2 weeks have been a lot better since they've gotten Hollywood Brown back. It's unlocked, the Chiefs offense ever since losing Tyreek Hill has been successful on quick, short passing game. They've started to kind of build around it. They have Travis Kelce, they have Hollywood Brown, and then they've been trying to beat people deep with Xavier Worthy, and people have to respect the Xavier Worthy deep, which has opened up things more in this short intermediate pass game. So Texans are really going to try and limit that as much as possible. What they're really going to do is they're going to try and get to Patrick Mahomes, something they were not able to do in Week 16. I maintain that game was looking like the Texans were going to keep it within 3 points or potentially win, but then Tank Dell got injured and it completely changed the entire, not just from a physical standpoint of playing, but the emotional standpoint of that game, with how intense that injury was. In this situation, with that, having that game film, I give edge to the Kansas City coaching staff in terms of, who benefits more from being able to look at that game film and then plan for the second game, especially knowing that, the Texans don't get Tank Dell back. They don't get Stephon Diggs back. They still really only have Nico Collins in terms of a wide receiver, and then Mechie's the number 2. We talked about there was really no weather advantages in the wild card round. This is absolutely a weather advantage. You have a dome team traveling to Kansas City. It's very cold there today. High wind as well, 11 to 15 miles an hour. I think that very much so favors the Chiefs. I think for the Texans to cover in this game, you're going to have a Joe Mixon game. Mixon's going to have to really be able to run the ball, sustain it on the ground, 100-plus yards with 2 touchdowns, and I don't think that's going to happen. I like the Chiefs here. I like them to cover the 8.5. We're going to stay consistent like we did in wild card round. We were consistent at 5 units a game outside of one game where we played the 10 units. Divisional round, we're going to stay pretty consistent at 10 units. So we like the Chiefs here minus the 8.5. And we like that one for 10 units. Now, in this next game, Commanders and Lions. Another one where very trendy on the dog here. Neither defense, I think the total's up to like 55, 55.5, 56, 56.5. So clearly expectations, a lot of points. Both teams go. I would not hit that over, FYI. Both these teams go for it on 4th down all the time, and you can have a game where teams are 1 of 4, 0 of 3, 0 for 4 on 4th down, and all of a sudden the points just aren't there. The Commanders got really trendy. They were really trendy against the Bucs, and now they're really trendy here. I still have concerns about them on the defensive side, just like I have concerns about the Lions on the defensive side. Lions' big weakness has always been a running quarterback under Dan Campbell and Aaron Glenn. Obviously, Jaden Daniels has the ability to rush. What they will try and do is they're going to try and blitz, just like they did against the Vikings. Unlike Lamar Jackson, Daniels this year has struggled against the blitz. Other rushing quarterbacks, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, they excel when you blitz them. Daniels has had issues with it this year. A lot of people also making to the point, Daniels hasn't gotten beat by multiple scores in any game in his career except the very first one where he played against the Bucs. Since then, he's either won or he's lost by single score game. There's deeper. You got to look deeper into that, though. Really, the Eagles, they got a late score against the Eagles. Eagles were on the way to blowing them out. The second time they played the Eagles, they got very lucky in that Jalen Hurts went down with concussion. I think they got kind of lucky against the Bucs this past week. I still do not trust the Commanders' rush defense. I know Bobby Wagner's playing. He's got the ankle. He's a gamer. I expect him to get a shot in the ankle before the game, and I mean, unless that thing completely collapses on him, he's going to finish out the game. But outside of that, I don't see how the Commanders' rush defense stops the Lions from, David Montgomery back, so they have their 1-2 punch back. I don't see how they stop them from rushing for 200-plus yards. I think both of these teams will move the ball. How much each team scores is really going to come down to fourth down stops and conversions. I just think that the Commanders will be in fourth down situations more than the Lions will in this one. And the Lions will get enough of those in order to win by 10 to 14 points. We like the Lions here. We like that one for 10 units as well. Really, it comes down to I trust neither defense, but I trust a defense that at least has some ability to stop the run in the Lions more than the Commanders who just don't have it, and they're going up against what many would consider to be the number one rushing offense in the NFL, and the Lions with their offensive line and their two backs. So that's our picks today, guys. We're laying the 8.5, and we're laying the 8.5 in both games. If you are on the other side, make sure you can get 9.5s. So if you are on the Texans, make sure you get the 9.5, and if you're on the Commanders, make sure you get the 9.5. Potential to wait up till kickoff and get a 10, but make sure you grab a 9.5. But if you're with us, I don't think we're going to get much lower than an 8.5 in either one of these games at this point. You could have gotten Chiefs at an 8 for a while, but those are all gone. So 8.5 and 8.5, 10 units on each. Let's go Chiefs and let's go Lions, and we'll be back at you again tomorrow. Thanks a lot, guys.